Namaste, good evening. Hope everything good with you and with your family. We welcome you all on behalf of IPA Ahmedabad Chapter, myself Sheetal Shah. Thank you for your time. Today we have a do's and don'ts of plumbing part 2 by Subash Deshpande. Before we start the session, in this situation, I recommend few things besides medicine. That is Shraddha, Dheeraj, Atmabad. Everyone, please be patient. Make your willpower strong. Respect and make your belief so positive towards divine power. God is with all of us. Be safe, be healthy. Now, today's session, before we start our do's and don'ts of plumbing part 2, I must invite our chairperson, Mr. Minesh Bhai, for welcome speech, and he will talk regarding WPD 2020 painting competition 2. Over to Minesh Bhai.
Good evening and namaste to everyone. On behalf of IPA Ahmedabad Chapter, I am very happy and obliged to welcome you all for today's technical webinar on the topic Do's and Don'ts of Plumbing Part 2 by no other than our Plumbacharya, Sri Subash Deshpande. Today, we shall be continuing further from the last session, covering some important aspects of Do's and Don'ts for water supply as well as installation practices. We will also highlight some modern systems and products available in the market. Along with you, I also welcome our distinguished guest from 4 renowned schools of Ahmedabad and today's event sponsor, Juliet, in this wonderful, knowledgeable session. Before we start on this technical presentation today, I'd like to inform you all that the new membership category of professional members is now open and can be now availed online from IPA website www.indianplumbing.org. This professional membership is available for 3 years of time at a cost of 3,500 rupees plus GST, which can be transferred to life membership, paying the difference amount within the 3 years of membership duration. Everyone present today who is not an IPA member should surely look into this category of membership and enroll for the same. This COVID-19 pandemic has created a great chaos, and no gatherings of more than 20 to 50 people are allowed. And this will still continue at least for coming 3 to 6 months. Today, before we proceed for the technical session, I'm going to take some time for one important announcement on our past event, which we were not able to make due to COVID-19 situation. 11th March is celebrated as the World Plumbing Day worldwide every year, and IPA Ahmedabad Chapter plans a series of activities on this day. This year also, IPA Ahmedabad Chapter had planned a series of activities with the help of our vibrant and energetic executive committee team members. Today, we are going to accomplish one incomplete task of WPD celebrations, and that is felicitation of the WPD painting competition winners. A painting competition with the theme Change Habit and Save Water was organized in 4 different schools between 10th March to 14th March 2020 for the school students in 2 different categories. Group 1, 7 to 9 standard, and Group 2, 6 standards and below. The aim of this painting competition was to make these young minds understand the importance of water in our lives and develop habits so as to reduce the water usage, thus helping in water conservation, which is the need of an hour. 164 students in Group A, Group 1, and 881 students in Group 2, totaling to 1045 students participated with great enthusiasm, displaying their talent and creativity. 3 best paintings among each group were selected as our chapter's entry for the national competition between 23 chapters of IPA across India. We are also selected 2 more paintings from each group as a consolation prize to motivate and encourage the young students. The drawing competition were held in 4 schools: A1 School, Diwan Ballubhai School, Apple Global School, and Anand Niketan School between 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 14th of March. Even school had 56 students in group 1 and 45 students in group 2. Total 101 students participated. From Diwan Ballubai, 66 students from group 1 participated. Group 2 students were not able to participate due to some exams or something. Apple Global School had 40 students from group 1 and 200 students from group 2, total 242 students. Whereas from Anandiketan School, we had a whopping number of 636 students participated from group 2. All these 1045 students had done a wonderful job with their painting, showing us all adults what these young minds are capable of. We all know that the way we behave, talk and act with children, it becomes their inner voice and habit. So IPA tries to create this awareness of saving water by changing habits among these young kids for the betterment of society on a longer run. We have some surprise gifts for all of these students. We'll be giving, I am just disclosing now, we'll be giving crossword gift vouchers to the students. The number 1 ranked first winner from each group will get a gift voucher of 1,000 rupees from crossword. Second prize will be 750 rupees gift voucher from crossword. Third prize will be 500 rupees. And 2 consolation prizes will have 250 rupees of a gift voucher. Now I'm sharing the screen to show you the winners and their paintings. From group 1, we had Arya Shah from Apple Global School. Second was Mehman Mahira. Third was Arya Patel. And the consolation prizes went to Dastan Aina and Madhvi Dwivedi. Group 2 winners were Harshali Doshi, Anya Rajput, and Anya Sanghvi were the first, second, and third prizes, whereas the consolation prizes went to Sia Trivedi and Riya Pitwa. I'll just go through a brief presentation and I request all the students, if they are present, to come on the screen and say hi, waving their hand in front of the camera so that all the participants can see your face along with your painting. Now this is the first painting, group 1 winner, Apple Global School, Arya Shah. She was selected as the second winner at a national level.
Sir,
Arya, can you just come on the screen and say hi?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, this is Arya. Arya has won a second prize at a national level. Congratulations to Arya.
Thank you, sir.
And he was a first winner from our Ahmedabad chapter. And this is the painting which he had done. Arya, you can close your video. Now the second prize. The second prize goes to Mehman Mahira from Diwan Ballubai School. This was the painting. Mehman Mahira, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Just you can say hi to everyone.
Hi.
You win a 750 rupees gift voucher from Crossword.
Thank you.
Third prize goes to Arya Patel from Apple Global School. This is the painting done by him. Arya, can you just come on the screen?
Heard. Hi.
Sorry. Okay. Now the 2 consolation prize winners. One was from Diwan Ballubai, Dastan Aina Imran Bhai. Dastan, can you just come on? I think she is not there. I go to second consolation prize winner of group 1.
He is there, I think.
Unmute Aima. Unmute yourself, Aima.
I am there.
Okay. Okay, you are there. Okay, you can just come on, Aina. Yeah, this is the painting by Aina. She has won the consolation prize. Again, Madhvi Dwivedi from Apple Global School has won a consolation prize from group 1. This is the paintings done by her. Now we go on to the group 2.
Say hi, Madhvi.
Madhvi is there.
Yeah, she has come.
Yes, Madhvi say hi. Madhvi say hi to everyone.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah, hi.
Yeah. Now we go to the group 2 winners. Harshali Doshi from Apple Global School had won the group 2 first rank, first prize winner with a 1,000 rupees gift voucher. And again, she was a national winner, second prize among all 23 chapters across India. And this is the painting. She was from 6th standard. The second prize goes to Anya Rajput from A1 school. Are they present? Harshali and
Hi, sir.
yeah, so just say hi when I speak your name.
Hi, sir.
Hi, hi.
Hi, Anya Rajput.
Anya
Hi,
Rajput.
Anya.
Very good. Congratulations. Then we have third prize winner is Anya Sangvi from Ananiketan School from 4th standard.
Sir, my name is Anaya Samudi.
Hello, Anaya.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. Congratulations, Anaya.
Thank you.
Then we have the consolation prize winners. Shia Trivedi from Apple Global School, 6th standard. Shia, are you there?
yes, she was there. Sia? Sia, you will have to unmute yourself.
And also start video.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
She is not here. She is outside, so I am online right now.
Okay. No problem. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to you, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much, ma'am.
Then the second prize, consolation prize, goes to Ria Pitwa, 4th standard from A1 school. Is Ria there? Congratulations to all these winners. Now I would let us do a big cap. See, we had seen all these, and we had seen all these 1,045 pictures, and it was very difficult for us to find the winners because these kids have done a wonderful job, and they have shown us how we can save water by changing habits. Now I'll request Arya Shah, if you can unmute yourself and come on the screen. Can you share your experience? He is the national winner, second prize, and group 1 first prize winner. Arya Shah.
Yes, sir. So good evening, one and all present over here. I am Arya Shah from Apple Global School. I would first of all like to thank the Indian Plumbing Association for giving us the opportunity to express our thoughts on the topic how to save waters and what habits should be changed. I got the chance to express my ideas through my painting. I had always been taught to conserve water by my parents and my school. They taught me how important water is in our day-to-day lives and for the complete ecosystem. Therefore, it is a necessity for us to save water for the survival of all living organisms as every drop counts. Lastly, I would like to convey a message through this medium that save water wherever possible through a beautiful quote which says, save water and in return it would save you. Thank you.
Thanks, wonderful, Arya.
Good. Well spoken.
Thank you.
Then I'll request Dastan Aima to share her views. Dastan, you can unmute yourself and come on the screen.
Good evening, everyone. I am Dastan Aima from Diwan Bhalluba Secondary School. I am extremely thankful to the organization Indian Plumbing Association for providing us platform to express our ideas to the drawing competition. When the topic was given to us, we were forced to go out of the box and thought of new ideas with the solution of future crisis. I extend my thanks to my principal Rekha ma'am, my art teacher and my parents who inspired me to take part in this competition and give valuable guidance. My special thanks to my beloved mom who helped and motivated me to perform the best. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Aima. That was wonderful. And congratulations to all the winners. And I'll just show the crossword vouchers to all. These crossword vouchers we have on, and this will be reaching your school. And you can collect this from your school, all the winners. Correct? We will send these vouchers on, say, Tuesday, next day of Raksha Bandhan. And then you can collect any day after that. Now, Sheetal, before moving on to the technical session, I would like a few words from all. We have the school principals and management team with us from all these 4 schools. So we'll have a quick word from them. First of all, from Ananiketan School, I'll invite Mrs. Nashi Chauhan, Director of Ananiketan Group of Schools, to just speak a couple of words. Ma'am, you need to unmute.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to first thank the Plumbing Association to have me here to speak to the children. It gives me great pleasure. Now, the competition that you organized is the need of the day concerning water. So it was an excellent topic where children, you see, when children give us ideas, then we understand them a little more. So children have sort of portrayed it in their drawings. Excellent work done. You know, if you remember who Pablo Picasso was, he said that every child is an artist. And can you imagine life without art? So when it comes to a competition regarding children, I think if we do it through art, that's the best we can do for the children, because children are so closely connected to art. And it's a very important part of their growth too. They, from a very young age, I've seen them, if you look at the little children, babies, say about 3, 4 years old, you tell them something and you ask them something about it, they'll be a little hesitant. But as soon as you give them that freedom, why don't you draw it for me, to explain it to me, they love it. And those explanations are the explanations that are the ones that really, really explain to us that these children have understood what we were trying to tell them. Write out on children, it's excellent. I'm always doing that with children. So we start with them at a very young age. And then a school without art in it, you just can't call it a school. A school should be a happy school, and a school should be full of colors. And colors are a very important part of art. So, as I said, children should be connected to art, and the school should connect to art too. And your association has done that, which must have given a lot of pleasure to the children to be sitting there in thousands trying to draw and sort of portray their imagination, portray their kind of understanding, because that is what art is about. It lets children imagine all sorts of things, because children's imagination can run wild. And then it's through art that thinking skills come in. You tell a child, okay, now just give him a topic like you said, save water. Then the child starts thinking that how am I going to save water? What should we do to save water? And then when he puts it in now, illustration or into a drawing, it will also have more meaning for us, because the explanation is there shown to us right away. Then it brings in a lot of critical thinking also, because the child thinks, oh, no, I don't like it this way, I think I should do it this way. Those skills also come in, and a lot of understanding comes in. I'm sure these children, the 1,000 children plus, who have done these drawings now must be telling others also that we need to save water. They understood the need of it through their own art. Then a lot of application knowledge. If you give them a topic which they have very little knowledge about, I'm sure at this stage, some of the younger ones in grade 4, 5, the little ones, wouldn't be really knowing that what can lead to if we don't save water. But now the understanding has come to them. So a lot of understanding comes in through art. When children express themselves, then they understand. And then they can take it forward in life with them. Then color sense, art is full of color. And color plays a very important role in a child's life. Then they come to know the different proportions. Okay, if I'm going to draw a fish and an elephant, which one should be bigger, which one should be smaller? Of course, this is for the little children. Older ones would know that. And there is a lot of enjoyment. You can't find more enjoyment in children than what they enjoy is art. Just announce in the class today, okay, I'm going to take you out and give you easel, you're going to do drawing, you should see the happiness. You tell them, okay, I'm going to take you out and I'm going to talk to you about something that you, oh my God, what are they going to talk to me about? So where they can express themselves, where they have the freedom to do something, art comes in. Very, very necessary it is. And most of the artists that I've read about, because I'm very fond of art, I have done art to quite a higher level, in school level, always taught us that there is a lot of courage needed also, as far as art is concerned. Just like courage is needed, and if you have to go and speak to about 1,000 people, I need courage for that. It's the same in art, because they have to apply their knowledge. They have to make people understand that what I'm depicting is how I look at that. So it is not just a drawing. There is art in everything. There's art in writing too. So writing is also an art. But there, everybody would not understand that. But when it comes to this drawing, with all the colors and with all the explanations put in through drawing, it has a much more, you get a much better impression with that than you would get otherwise. Now they say that take photography. Now what do? You go and you take a photo. Don't you take a photograph? And what is art? You make a photo. So there's a difference between taking a photograph and taking a photo, because you are basically at the end of the day in front of you. It is just like a photograph is. So I feel at the end of the day that the best part of art is that art enables us to find ourselves, understand ourselves, and lose ourselves at the same time. You observe a child drawing, he's lost to the world. He's sitting there drawing. He's sitting there expressing himself. So art plays a very, very big role in the growing years of the child. Later on, of course, it can become a profession, or it might be just a hobby, or it's a talent that is left undiscovered further. But in the stage of children, when they're growing up, when they're in the schools, it plays a very big role. And I think it was a wonderful day. I'm always very happy with organizations that ask us to do these competitions to art. Because art helps out children a lot in their growing stages. Thank you so much, and I'm so happy that I was there to talk to the children. I would have loved to see the children, but then it's an online thing, so we just don't manage to see everyone. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Nazi ma'am. Thank you for your brief detailing and your involvement for this competition. I now invite Anamika Pandey from A1 School of, please, can you hear me, Anamika, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Good evening, all the members of IPAAC, the management members of different schools, your parents and children. First of all, many congratulations to all of your efforts to make this event a successful event, due to which today we are here in this webinar. It is a delight to see how concerned we all are as citizens in safeguarding the natural resource water. Water is truly considered as the elixir of life, and this competition was held to spread the awareness about the seriousness of saving water and using it judiciously. So a big round of applause and heartfelt thanks to all the members of IPAAC who really have taken this initiative to spread awareness through the young minds in the form of creativity through drawing competition. And congratulations to all the participants as well as the winners who really did lot of efforts, and they presented their creativity, their thoughtful minds in the paper through colors and the pictures. When I saw really these pictures were mesmerizing me, I was able to see only my student pictures, 101 students who participated. Really, these are amazing ones. So we can say even the grown-up people cannot do what efforts the children are doing and putting. So I would like to praise them all, and definitely the school managements who have motivated the children, as well as the parents who really put many efforts to bring the children forward towards this. Actually, these children have made a pavement for them, a road for them for their bright future. I would also like to extend my thanks to Mr. Gaurang Patel, who coordinated with us and provided the beautiful kits to all our children. Really, those kits motivated them, as well as the ma'am said, that definitely art is not only just to put in the paper. It is really a way where the children, how the children can extend their thoughts, imagination, as well as many creativities which are filled inside, which they cannot express through words. Those can be on the paper through the pictures and the drawings and the colors. So many congratulations to everybody. I will now wind up the speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anamika ma'am. Thank you very much for your involvement, and we hope the future participants will be there from A1 school.
Definitely, sir. We would like to have such competitions on different themes, and especially for the water. Definitely 11th March is the day, I know that. So I would wait for the next March also, 2021.
Thank you very much. Now I must invite Mr. Sunil Trivedi from Apple School. Sunil bhai.
Sir, your few words.
Okay, yeah, sure, definitely. I'll try to keep it as short as possible. A very good evening to all present here, the committee members of IPAAC, all the parents, all the educationists from different schools, and most important, dear students. Winning is definitely something which is quite a memorable event, and getting felicitated for that is even more memorable. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the students who have won prizes at the state level and the national level. I think it's a great achievement. Hats off to your creativity. So these days, art is not taken as a separate subject. Art is an integrated, it is integrated with the curriculum these days. Whichever subject you are studying, there has to be integration of art also. I would like to thank the IPAAC for organizing this wonderful competition, wherein opportunity was given to the students to participate and bring out their creativity. And I'm sure next year when you conduct this competition, there will be a larger number of students participating. And I wish all these children all the very best. Take care, be safe. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sunil bhai. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I invite Rekha Vyas from Diwan Ballabhai School. Rekha ma'am, can you please give your thought on the event?
Good evening to all. And first of all, I like to say thanks, a big thanks to Indian Plumbing Association Ahmedabad Chapter. Because when the government has already introduced a new education system, and in this system, government has focused on skill-based education. And in such scenario, connecting the skilled people, because I understand that all of you are associated with that, with the art is really, I think that it is really need of this time. Second thing, I just connected to two things. You know very well that in human body, which is made up of capillaries and arteries and veins, and there is a heart and everything. And if we want human body to function well, it is very important for us to understand function of all this network. So when the same thing, if we compare on the earth's surface, it's very important for the skilled people, for the engineers and for the scientists to understand supply of water, pipes, maybe pumps, maybe air pressures and tank, and all this is a latest science. So when you come to us, it is not just only the art competition, it is something connecting the children, connecting art with actual world. So really, thank you very much. I congratulate all the students who participated in this. They have really come out of, they have come up with very different ideas to meet the future crisis. I would love to share that really when I saw some of the pictures which you have already shown in the slides, that what would be the future if suppose we don't take care of water conservation, then what would be the future of the earth? And it's really made us worry. So thank you. So congratulations all the students for beautiful ideas and creativity and imagination on a piece of a paper. Again, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Rekha Ben. Thank you very much. I thank you all the principal, all the school management to support us and make this event wonderful. Thank you, winners. Thank you, everyone. Now, before we start our technical webinar.
Shitabhai, just a second. Now we'll be, before starting our technical session, I'll request all the school principals and management as well as the students, they can still be on our program. You can participate for the next 1 hour and see what technical activities we do. If you have time, if you have some other commitments, you are free to leave. Shital, now you can start the technical session.
Yes, I know people are eager to start and hear the Subash Deshpande's technical session. But before the technical session, I invite Hulliot Pipes and Fittings Private Limited General Vice President Sales Marketing, Mr. Sailesh Kamar, to give their sponsorial presentation. We thank you, Hulliot team, for their support in the series of our webinar. Sailesh bhai, can you please start your technical presentation?
Can you disable the screen sharing, please.
There is
Good
no
evening, everybody.
I'll
It's not
just
there.
get the screen sharing right.
Yeah.
I'll give you the screen sharing right.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Now you can share the screen.
Good evening to everybody. Greetings from the Juliet. My presentation is divided into two parts. One is regarding the drainage products and a single stack system. The second part is the new product which we are going to launch. About Juliet, we are established in 1947, 73 years old company with a vast experience in the advanced flow system, with the innovative plastic products for water supply, drainage, sewage, and water reuse. We have various R&D facilities, expertise for the Indian plumbing industries. We are the first polypropylene pipe manufacturing unit in India. Yeah. We get into the drainage system. In the drainage system, we have, we go to the terminology. What does the drainage system mean? The drainage system is divided into two parts. One is the soil pipes and one is the waste pipe. Soil pipe carries the wastewater from the water closets and urinal, and the waste pipe carries the wastewater from all the sanitary fixtures and appliances. So it is called as a grey water. For the drainage system to get installed, there are various methods. The prominent methods which are there are two pipe systems, one pipe system, and a single stack systems. My presentation will be more concentrated on the single stack system. What is single stack system? Single stack system is a system where we have only one pipe which acts as a collector as well as a venting system. And single stack system have other restrictions, including the length of the branch or the pipes connected to the drainage stacks and minimum distance required to connect on the stack. Many manufacturers have a proprietary product to receive the multiple stacker, which is called as an aerator, which is a generic name. And this aerators, we have seen that it doesn't have any accordance with any standards or any third-party lab. The DFU units handled by them is a part of the manufacturers alone. Whereas Juliet, which we provide as a double swept T as a single stack system, is for more appropriate, and it is as per the standards. The single stack systems which were designed is as per the National Building Codes and as per the EN code, which is 1056 volume 2. The drainage pipe sizing is also done along with the EN specifications, where we add all the drainage fixture units, and then we arrive at the piping diameters, which has to be the downtake, which is the vertical downtake for the same. The hydraulic switch is calculated is as per the EN 12056 part 2. We have the primary venting discharge capacity, and there's in the primary venting, if you see, for a 110 dia stack, with a square T, it will be 4 liters per second. But when we go with the swept T, which is our product, it goes up to 5.2 liters per second. In the secondary venting, where we give another additional vent for a 110 diameter, the venting goes to 5.6 liters per second. The core of the entire thing is the velocity breaker. The drainage system is designed into the gravity systems. And if you see how the water flows or how the solid and the waste flows, 1/3 of the water drainage flows through the side of the tubes, and the 2/3 is a hollow, and which allows the core of the air to transfer upwards. The codes which we follow in the single stack system is the UPC code for the single stack system, where we show the swept T, which is at 87.5 degrees centigrade. These are the codes which have been followed, which have been also listed in the UPC codes. The NVC code also defines very clearly the use of swept T for the single stack system. The EN specification also clearly defines in the clause number 3.28 swept T entry, where it says very, very clearly that this is the ideal system for the entire thing. The single stack system, we have various sizes of the T which are available starting from 75 mm up to 160 mm, and even we go up to 200 mm in diameter. If we compare the competitors' fitting with our fitting, we show how easy it is to install our fittings. We have two swept T which can be installed very easily. Whereas if we talk about the aerator, the installation takes 4 steps, where you have to cut, we have to plane the end, welding, and then do the pressing together, and it is allowed to cool. This is the schematic diagram of a single stack system, depending upon whether we have a sunken area or whether we have unsuspended area. On that basis, the designs can be done. We also do the designing part, which helps the consultants to come to a right solution. And we give also the bill of material so that the budgetary offers can be provided by the consultants to the clients. The highlights of the single stack system is the performance-wise benefits are minimize the stack's dimensions, increases the capacity compared to the secondary ventilated system. If you talk about the cost, it saves cost because you are going to use only a single pipe, and it saves the time for installation. Single stack system, this were a couple of projects which we have done. I will not go into the details of the project, but a couple of projects I can show you. Kalpataru Executa in Wakad. Then we have done a Residency 91 in Mumbai, where we have done the single stack system, which is 35-story and above. Signature Tower, we have done the entire project with the single stack system. The standards which we follow for our material is all the EN standards, EN 1451, EN 4102 for the fire systems, and for the sound insulation is EN 14366. Certificates and approvals, we have various certificates and approvals which are required for the certifications of the pipe. Nevertheless, we also have the BMC approval for the single stack system. I come to the next session, which is called as a new product. In the new product, we are launching the new product, which is called as a Heliroma Red Fire. Heliroma is our sister concern. It's a part of Juliet, which is in Portugal. This is a red fire product, which you call as it's made of PPR and fiberglass systems, which is used for firefighting network installation. If you see the characteristics of this particular material, the sizes available is from 20 to 125 in diameter, SDR11. It is made of 3 layers with a flame retardant additives. It's a fire reaction classification of B-H1-D0. And the joining method is very clear. It is thermofusion socket union. And operating conditions are 12.5 bars at 20 degrees centigrade. And expected durability is 50 years. And we adhere to all the standards which have been mentioned in my slides, which is EN specifications and also the DIN specifications. As I mentioned, the characteristics are very, very clear, 20 mm to 125 mm. The raw material is PPR and PPR up to 125 with the flame retardant additives. If we talk about fire classifications in the EN specification, there are various fire classifications. It is starting from A1 to A2, which is non-combustible, and B to 5 is fuels in ascending order. Our system is which I showed you here is B-S1-D0. So obviously we are talking about in the second bracket where we say the drop and flame particles are absent. Applications for this particular product, we say that it is used in the classification of fire of B-S1-D2, and it is certified by NOR. NOR is again international agency where the certifications have been done. This is the certificates which shows about our quality of the products and also for the firefighting systems. The minimum simultaneous 2 FHC is guaranteed for the minimum at least for 60 minutes. And the examples where it can be used is the low risk and medium risk installation. Examples like hospitals, administrative building, parking lots, commercial centers. Fire sprinkler systems, applications which we are talking about is the wet piping systems and the branch systems. The risk levels we are talking about light risk LR, common risk CR, which are divided into subgroup of CR1 and CR4. Extra process risk, that is called as a EPR1 to EPR4, and extra storage risk, which is ESR1 to ESR2. Applications sites, we are talking about hospitals, hotel, commercials, industrial, garages, prisons, theaters, and schools. And product characteristics, as I mentioned, to summarize it, it is raw material with a flame retardant additive, chemical stability, thermofusion socket joining, lightweight, fiberglass layer, and it is a recyclable material, 100% recyclable material. The benefits are prevent sprinkling clogging because it doesn't have any what you call iron particles or anything. It's a quick assembly, network building. It's a durable material. There's a load losses reduces and corrosion to the chemical resistance. The benefits are fire resistance, sustainable ecologically, and we have all the certification. It has a lower thermal expansions also. The key benefits which we talk about for this particular product is reliability, versatility, certification, lower total cost of ownership. To just summarize what Juliet offers 0% waste. We always give tailor-made options for all our material which is available to be sold in the Indian market, whether it is a drainage products or whether it is a firefighting products also. It is reduces the waste material at the site, no cutting required at the site. So what happens? It's saving on the cost. You pay less to the labor. It saves labor time. You are saving time. Installation time is being saved. It avoids pollution also. Along with that, since it is 100% recyclable, so we have green certifications for this particular products, and we reduce also the carbon footprints. Why Huliad? Why people will buy Huliad? We say we give you complete basket of solution, drainage to STP to even drinking water solution, and now firefighting solutions. And technical support for design and value engineering for the consultants who can definitely in turn give it to the clients. Committed timely deliveries, field sales staff support, manufacturing in India, and there are reference lists available, ample number of where we have done successful installation. And thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Sailesh Bhai, for a good brief regarding your product and your company. Now we start our webinar, Do's and Don'ts for Plumbing, Part 2. I introduce our speaker, Subash Bhai. He's a plumbing engineer and a member of IPA Technical Committee. He himself is a chairperson of IPA Pune Chapter. He retired Director Plumbing, IPA India. Short and sweet, plumbing in his blood. Subash Bhai, please, can you go ahead with your webinar?
Yes. Can I share the screen?
Yeah, you can share. Giving you the rights. Yes, visible.
Okay, namaste and good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
This is actually the part 2 of do's and don'ts in plumbing. We have covered part 1 earlier. We'll continue and focus on the practical problems faced during the planning, installation, construction, and maintenance of plumbing systems. We'll discuss what is correct and what is incorrect method of plumbing. Your participation is very important to us. Your questions, you can type it in the question box. We'll try to answer most of them if the time permits. The total module of do's and don'ts covers 4 parts: fixtures and fittings, sanitary drainage, water supply, and installation methods. The first 2 parts are covered in the last webinar. Today we'll cover water supply and installation methods. The reference codes and books remain the same. 2017 Uniform Illustrated Plumbing Code of India and 2017 Water Efficient Products India. Both are published jointly by IPA India and IPA. Then of course our own National Building Code of India, published by Bureau of Indian Standards, and a book called A Guide to Good Plumbing Practices, published by Indian Plumbing Association. All slides, presentations, substance in my presentation belongs to these codes and books. So there we go, part 3, water supply. First and foremost, you have to conserve water. It is our duty towards the future generations. You have to follow the maximum flow rates as suggested by UIPCI. The flow rates are given, and while buying the plumbing fixtures and fittings, you should ensure that the flow rate is not exceeding what is given in the code. You can also go for water efficient fixtures and fittings. The WEPI published by IPA and IPMO gives you the water efficient fixtures and fittings. Now there is a star rating available, like the Energy Stars. Now we have water stars for water efficient fixtures. Also, one simple way to conserve water is to keep the water pressure moderate, that is between 1 to 3 bar pressure, excessive pressure causes excessive wastage of water. Of course, you can think of alternate sources which I have not covered here, but there are of course alternate sources available. Keep saying the mantra: reduce, reclaim, and recycle. So coming to quality of water, the sources will be preferably the municipal water. If it is not adequate, then you have tanker water, borewell water, lake or river, water coming and treated at site, or reclaimed water, reclaimed at site, or harvested rainwater. These are various sources which are generally used on our plumbing system, plumbing projects. And there are various utilities like drinking, domestic, flushing, landscaping, cleaning, cooling tower, and fire. The quality of the product, quality of the water may change depending on the utility. However, let me clarify here that the drinking and domestic water is nothing but one and the same thing. The domestic water has to be of drinking quality. Any water that touches your skin must be of drinking quality. So drinking water is not more or better than domestic water. Treatment, you have to give only the appropriate treatment to the source of water, depending on the utility, and follow the IS code 10500. Just while passing by, the RO water system installed in your kitchens is not required. That is not the appropriate treatment. You just need a nice filter and maybe a softener for the water. Coming to storage, there will be various compartments to your water tank. The compartment shall be planned as per required quality and quantity of water. The water tank design should be such that the water is in good circulation, it is not stagnant. Proper venting is to be provided to each compartment of the water tank. There should be air gap between the source of water and the overflow level of the tank. As you see it, B over here, this is the air gap between the source and the overflow level. When you have two different qualities of water, potable and non-potable water, there should be sanitary separation as shown here, demarcated as A. That sanitary separation will ensure that the non-potable water does not mix into a potable water system. Whatever the quality of the water tank, generally it is made of concrete. No concrete in the world is watertight. There could be leakages, and the non-potable water can get into the potable water system and contaminate it. Pump room, you see here on the right, the pump room is there, and it is the flooring of the pump room is lower than the bottom of the water tank. Why? Let's go to the next slide. Suction condition. If the suction level is lower than the pump at the level of the pump, that is water level below the pump inlet is called negative suction. You will need priming, you will need efficient footwall, which is non-return type, and airtight piping. If there is a positive suction, as we saw in the slide before this, water level is above the pump inlet, it is called flooded or positive suction. It's very easy to install, ideal for hassle-free pumping. So let's go back quickly and see. This is the tank level, the bottom is here, and the pump room floor is below that, generally at least 600 mm below the bottom of the tank, so that you get positive suction. Water level systems. There are various systems. I think everyone would know the gravity supply, that is supplied through your overhead tanks, which is very common in India. If you have an overhead tank and in a high-rise building, top 2 or 3 floors are receiving less pressure, you can have a pressure boosting system for those top 3 floors. Or alternatively, you can have a hydropneumatic system, which is pumping water from bottom to top, and you may eliminate the overhead tank. And of course, there are combinations available. Partly hydropneumatic system, and partly gravity supply, and also top 3 floors pressure boosting. Those combinations works very well in high-rise buildings and complex building structures. Then the equitable distribution can be done by proper zoning and using pressure reducing valves. Pump, while selecting the pump, we have to give the two parameters. One is head and second is the flow per second or flow per minute. Now head is calculated considering the suction head, which is here, negative suction if it is there. Otherwise, there is no suction head. Then there is a static head. There is a residual head, which is required about 0.5 to 1 bar pressure. And then, of course, 1 bar converted into meters, that is 10 meters. And then the friction head from static head and the suction head. While selecting the pump, ensure that the pressure is between 1 to 4 bar, not more than that, and the velocity is not more than 2.4 meters per second. Also, you have to make sure that the water temperature is moderate. If it is a pump for hot water, you have to specify that at the beginning of the purchase. As we talked about different qualities of water, this is the international code for identification of water quality. Green band with white letter is potable water. Yellow band with black letters is non-potable water, that is maybe water coming from tankers or bore wells. And purple band with black letter is reclaimed water coming from your sewage treatment plants. You also have to, if you have a reclaimed water system, you have to give proper marking on the fixtures also. For example, if you have a reclaimed water for flushing, your first tank should have a marking saying reclaimed water is being used, do not drink. Materials for water supply. The pipe materials can be CPVC, which is very popular nowadays. UPVC, if you are using, make sure that it is lead free. Polypropylene random PPR, copper, stainless steel, PEX, that is polyethylene cross-linked, or polybutylene, or composite pipe, which is PE, aluminum PE, or various other combinations. And of course, earlier it was very popular, the galvanized iron pipes. While selecting the pipe, you have to make sure that they are suitable for the intended use. It should have corrosion resistance, chemical resistance, thermal expansion. The polymer pipes will have more thermal expansion than the metal pipes. Then heat loss or heat transfer. If you are using these pipes for radiation, then of course you can select metal pipes for better heat loss or heat transfer. Some of the pipes are very heavy and some are very light. For example, GI is very heavy and compared to plastic pipes. What is most important is the ease of joints. If the joint is complex, then you need more skilled labor or plumber. What are the types of joints? We have solvent cement joint for UPVC, CPVC pipes, electrical or socket fusion for PPR, crimping for composite pipes, soldering or brazing for copper pipes, and threading for GI pipes. The last point is very important, that while cutting and jointing the pipes with a collar, you see this burr over here. This has to be removed. Deburring is very important. If that is not done, then there will be some turbulence in the pipeline, which ultimately results in leakages. Talking about hot water, nowadays the central hot water systems are becoming more popular with more rebates coming from government. So solar systems are more popular. For commercial buildings like hotels, or hospitals, you may have a boiler either at the terrace or even in the basement. And nowadays, heat pumps are also becoming more popular. The hot water heaters can be instant type or storage type. It can be gas, electric, or heat pump type of hot water heater. Or you can have a combination of both. Some toilets may have solar hot waters and some have hot water heater storage type. Various combinations are possible. Due to corrosive nature and hardness, GI pipes are not preferred for hot water distribution because it causes more corrosion. Hot water expands. To take care of that, you have to install a TNP valve. As you see here, this is the central boiler, storage type water heater, and this is the TNP valve over here on the right. And you should have an expansion tank so that expansion of the hot water is taken care and there is no blasting of the water heater. That is for the storage tank. And for the water pipes which are long enough, yes, there should be expansion loop so that the pipes do not deform. Hot water distribution. The hot water connection should always be on the left-hand side of the plumbing fixture. Hot water pipes need extra supports. Please note this, particularly when you have polymer pipes, you need extra supports or hangers to support these pipes. Otherwise, you will have snake-shaped hot water pipe. And when it is a snake-shaped pipe, it results into leakages because of the stresses on the pipe and fittings. Remember, all hot water pipes, whether it is metal, plastic, or composite, all pipes need insulation. If somebody is telling you our pipes do not need insulation, they are misguiding you. Don't get into that trap. All hot water pipes need insulation. A thermostatic mixing valve is always recommended to be installed in addition to the thermostat at the water heater. We'll look at the thermostatic mixing valve installation later on. Return piping for the centralized hot water system is recommended. It saves water, it saves energy, it saves waiting time, and it saves inconvenience. In a typical water supply system, there will be different types of valves. Isolation valves, which either allow the water to flow or stop the flow of the water. There are ball valves, gate valves, angle valves, butterfly valves, stop valves, etc. They're all isolation valves. The difference between ball valve and gate valve. Ball valve is a quick closing valve, whereas gate valve, which you see in the picture, is a slow closing valve. The slow closing valves do not generate a water hammer, which is a nauseating noise and vibration sometimes added together. Slow closing valves are preferred over quick closing valves for large water supply systems. Then there are regulating valves like pressure reducing valve, non-return or check valves, which regulate the direction, globe valve, which regulates the flow of water, the quantity of water. Don't try to control the flow using ball valve. It is not correct. You have to use a proper globe valve for that. Then thermostatic mixing valve regulates the temperature, a ferrule, which again regulates the direction, backflow prevention device, which regulates backflow from the used water into the regular water supply system. Then there are other things such as gauges, strainers, water hammer arresters, or maybe foot valves, etc., etc. Locations. Where do you need the valves? You will need the valve at the discharge side of each water meter, at each building supplied by common service or meter, downtake or riser of each plumbing shaft, for each apartment, dwelling or toilet. Each toilet also you need a valve. We have seen overflowing toilets and the residents are not in the house, how do you stop that? You have to go to the plumbing shop and stop the flow. You need also the valves on discharge piping at water tank and on cold water supply at or near the appliance. So going back, what is appliance? Appliance is where the water is supplied. It generally needs some electric supply or some energy supply, but it may or may not generate wastewater. That is called appliance. Whereas appurtenance is something that is in the water supply system, which is doing some useful thing, but it is not appliance. So water hammer arrestor is one of the appurtenances. There can be two types: air chamber type or diaphragm type. We'll also have a look at the figures later on. Thermostatic mixing valve, pressure gauge, temperature gauge, meter, they are all appurtenances. Backflow prevention devices, as I said, to prevent backflow from used water or contamination, to avoid contamination. A small air gap is a simple and cheap backflow prevention device, but there can be atmospheric vacuum breaker, there can be pressure vacuum breaker, hose beep type backflow prevention device, or reduced pressure type backflow prevention device. The picture that you are seeing here is RP type backflow prevention device. So that was something about water supply. Let us go into the installation part. Initially, let's talk about drainage. The right and the wrong way of installing an eccentric enlarger or reducer, as you may call it. So when the water is flowing, this is the right way of installing a reducer. This is not correct, where the bottom is in line with the smaller diameter pipe. Avoid unnecessary plug bends, plug T's and plug Y's. See the pictures. This plug bend over here, the plug T has no, or this plug rather, has no useful purpose over there. This plug or this plug which is facing the wall, you cannot access this plug. You cannot do the rodding, you cannot remove the blockages. So these plugs are avoidable. In fact, more the plugs, more the possibilities of leakages from the plugs. So you should avoid unnecessary plug bends, etc. Also, if you notice, there is another pipe coming from the elbow. The plumber has drilled a hole to make a connection. We'll talk about it in the next slide. Do not drill to make a connection. This is not permitted by any code. You see here, there is a drill made into the elbow to make a vent connection. That is not correct, not permitted by the code. Also, heated collars are not permitted. You should use proper elbow or proper collar with the pipe. Also, do not fabricate fittings like this. As you see in the picture on the right, they're all fabricated fitting. They do not guarantee any smooth flow. They do not guarantee any leak-proof connection. Protect the pipes in the parking and driveways with pipe guard. If you are using any PVC pipe for drainage in the driveway or parking, you have to protect them because there is a fear of moving vehicles hitting the pipes. But they should be guarded by a pipe guard, as you see in the picture. At least in Pune, I know that I belong to Pune. At least in Pune, I know that some builders provide a cast iron pipe in the parking lot. So the UPVC pipe is somehow connected to the cast iron pipe with cement joint or whatever. We generally see trees growing at this joint in a few months. This is not the right way of protecting pipes. Also, route the pipes in such a way that minimum number of fittings are involved. See, here there is a lot of confusion about connections, and a lot of bends and traps and reducers are involved. you are unnecessarily increasing the cost, increasing the length of the waste connection, and the possibility of leakages. But if you select right fittings, for example, a double fixture fitting or a swept T, as we saw from Juliet, the swept T will eliminate one 45-degree bend and a Y. While installing the cleanouts, it should be with a long radius bend rather than an elbow so that rodding can be done. The cleanout here is at the floor of the toilet above. It's very easy to open the plug and do the rodding and remove the blockages. Or it should be outside the building but above the ground so that rodding can be done. The cleanout must be accessible at all times. Okay, coming to water supply, which was today's topic. Install adequate unions for future repairs and maintenance. It shall be installed with regulating wall or appliance which may need to be removed for repair or replacement. While using CPVC pipes and fittings, use solvent cement which is supplied by the manufacturer of the pipes and fittings. Don't use a cheap solvent cement available in the market. Use it what is manufactured and supplied by the manufacturer, by the pipe supplier. For pipes of larger diameter, for example, 50 millimeters and above, that you use a primer. This is the purple color primer that you see on the pipes, which shall be used before applying the solvent cement. This is very important. A bypass is not permitted, and we have seen hundreds of buildings where people use a pressure reducing valve with a bypass line, so that if the pressure reducing valve is not working properly, they just open the bypass line and let the water flow down. But this water will be at very high pressure, which will damage not only the plumbing but also the plumbing fixtures. So the right way is to have one standby PRV and a proper isolating valves and the pressure gauges which indicate whether the PRV is working or not. This is the right way of installation. Avoid water hammer. As I said, water hammer is created because of sudden stoppage of water. The slow closing valve may avoid the water hammer, but you can install a water hammer arrestor at the source, very close to the source. This is the air chamber type of water hammer arrestor. This can be fabricated by a plumber in the given pipe material. Or there are sophisticated water hammer arrestor. This one with the air chamber with a piston here which compresses the air and absorbs the impact of the water hammer. Or this is the diaphragm type where the diaphragm bulges upwards and absorbs the impact. For safety from scalding, add a thermostatic mixing valve in addition to thermostat at the heater. Do not depend on the thermostat of the water heater. In addition to that, in your shower area, you have to install a thermostatic mixing valve like this. The incoming water temperature is 65 degrees centigrade. One cold water supply is connected to the thermostatic mixing valve, and the outlet temperature is about 50 degrees, which is recommended by the code. It should not have temperature more than 50 degrees at the shower mixer. While installing the valves and appurtenances, it should be installed in the correct relationship with the direction of the flow. Generally, they will have an arrow marking like this, which indicates direction of the flow. So this is a strainer, Y strainer, which you can open and clean the sieve inside. Or this is the pressure reducing valve. This is a vacuum breaker, the atmospheric vacuum breaker. The air is going to enter from here to break the vacuum. So that is the right way of installation. Always use puddle flanges for making connection to and from the water retaining structures. For example, water tanks. and the basements, if you are crossing them from water retaining structure to non-water retaining structure, you should use a puddle plank to ensure there is no leakage from the crossings of the pipe. This is a bold statement made by most of the builders, most of the owners. They say that bad plumbing causes leakages. I do agree. Sometimes it does cause leakages, but nowadays the plumbing material is so good, so nicely fabricated. There is hardly any chance of making a plumber making a mistake, which will cause leakages. And then we are always there to guide the plumbers for proper plumbing practices. But what happens here is something that is beyond our hands. For example, here we have a system of connecting waste pipe over a nani trap. This is actually called double trapping because there is one water trap or P trap at the wash basin, and then it is again connected over a floor trap. This is double trapping, which is again not recommended by any code. But anyway, that is the prevailing practice in India. But what is happening is you just let the waste pipe here and finish this part with smooth cement finish. Most of the leakages come from this part, and 90% times the leakage is because of not using inlet fitting like this on the right. So the leakages in the sunken toilet floors can easily be avoided by using inlet fitting. But there is another cause that causes leakages in sunken toilet floors, and that is this. You have a sunken toilet floor, 450 or whatever, 400 mm sunken floor. There is a shrinkage of backfilling in the sunken portion. And that shrinkage takes time. But because you are in a hurry, you want to do the tiling, finish the project in time, or you're already delayed. So in a hurry, the moment backfilling is done, you do the flooring and tiling. And when the shrinkage takes place, there is a small gap over here between the dado tiles and the floor tiles, from where the leakage starts. And I have seen hardly 2% of the builders or contractors and the architects recommending this, a tile grout or a sealant at this joint. You should also use tile grout for the joints between the tiles. That will ensure there are no leakages from the tile joints or the joint between flooring and dado tile. This is a very important step, and most of the leakages will stop if you follow these two slides. There is another cause of leakages. Making good the holes. The holes are made for plumbing, which is fine. That is fine. Whoever has made them, generally a plumber. But then when they are made good by plaster, you have to add some additive for bonding with the old plaster. Otherwise, there will be shrinkage crack and leading to leakages. Also, the plaster should be waterproof type, and this should be done by a mason, not the plumber. Many buildings, at least earlier, I have seen that this was a job or responsibility of a plumber to make good the holes, and he will do it as per whatever tools he has. He is not a trained mason for that. And there will be a difference in finishing, and there will be leakages or seepages from this old and new plaster. Again, a very common cause for the leakages, last minute changes. Here you can see that initially the plumbing was brought at this level, and now it is shifted by maybe 4 inches on the right, because the architect gave some different decision, or maybe he changed the size of the tiles. Some architects like the tiles, the plumbing fitting at the center of the tile. Some architects like it at the joint of the tile, and the tiling layout is not given beforehand, and then these changes happen. The changed plumbing is never as good as the original plumbing. So the picture on the right is showing tile marking done and plumbing fixture at the center of the tile. With due care, it is done, and it is done. The chasing for the plumbing is done after the plaster. That's very important. If you do the chasing before the plaster, you are going to damage the partition wall definitely. Also, no manual chasing. Do not take a chisel and hammer and start chasing. You should use a cutting machine to do the chasing in the wall. All right, having looked at some of the installation problems and correct methods, now let us look at some new products and systems. Double sink trap. Generally, if you have a double sink or sink with two bowls, you can have the code says that you can have only one trap. You need not have two traps for two bowls. But the trap has to be at the center, and the distance between this cannot be more than 800 millimeters. Distance between the trap and the sink cannot be more than 800 millimeters. Or if you have two bowls, you can have one trap. This is a two-bowl sink, and this can be two different wash basins. So two-bowl sink, again, the sink should be not more than 800 millimeter apart. Another important thing is the sink bowl should be at the same level. If there are different levels, you have to have two traps for each bowl. Urinal traps. In my first webinar, I told all of you that you should select a urinal which has got inherent trap. But if you have a urinal without a trap, integrated trap, then you might use a urinal trap which is seen in these pictures. There are different manufacturers, different traps, and they can be easily installed on a pre-plumb system or a carrier fitting. Close washer trap. The code says that when you are installing a clothes washer or a washing machine, the trap should be 150 millimeters above the floor, a P trap, 150 millimeter above the floor, and there should be a stand pipe about 450 to 600 millimeter tall for connecting the waste to the stand pipe. Now, of course, we are talking here about the front loading type of clothes washer, where the discharge of the wastewater is by a pump, not by gravity. You might have seen this discharge pipe connected to a floor trap, and you might have seen a lot of foam coming out of the floor trap. To avoid that, the clothes washer traps are now available in the market, and it really dissolves the foam. It will not come out, and it will not cause any blockage of the air core in the drainage line. And this trap is covered with this kind of simple box, so it looks neat and tidy, easy to clean. No-touch taps. If you buy a no-touch tap for wash basin, it might be quite expensive. But if you already have installed a basin or a sink tap like this, how to convert that into no-touch tap? And this is very relevant now with the COVID-19 epidemic, because you're not supposed to touch the tap, particularly in public toilet. You might transfer the disease to somebody else. So how to convert the existing tap into no-touch tap? This is a small device now available in the market. The existing tap, you just remove the aerator and install the small device at the aerator, and you have a no-touch tap available. No need to change the tap, and with simple device, it becomes a no-touch tap. I think very cleverly and at the right time, it has come in the market. Very useful for public places, particularly for schools and colleges, institutions, IT offices. This is very useful. Pressure reducing valve. I told you we're getting back to it again later on. As I said, reducing the pressure to the desired pressure only, not excessive pressure. It promotes water conservation. The UIPC and WEPI say that the pressure setting should be between 1 to 4 bars. And so it mandates the use of pressure reducing valves. If you have a separate line for flushing, for example, reclaimed water line, then the pressure limitation should be 0.5 bar to 1 bar. 0.5 bar is all right for flushing tank, and 1 bar minimum pressure is required for flush valves. PRVs also facilitate equitable distribution through zoning. Water circulation. You may not have seen this kind of plumbing done in your projects, because this is a special requirement in some applications where you don't want any stagnant water in your pipeline. For example, if you have a hot water system, you don't want water to stand there for a long time. Or if you have a, let's say, DM plant for a pharmaceutical company, you don't want standing water over there, which might lose the quality of water. So what they do is, they have this water is coming over here. Let's say, for example, this is machine A, machine B, and machine C. And generally, machine C is used. Then the standpipes to machine A and B will have stagnant water. To avoid that, you open any, for example, a wash basin. Let's say a public toilet. Everyone comes in and uses wash basin A. Wash basin B and C are hardly used because they are far away. So there will be standing water or stagnant water from basin B and C. To avoid that, this is the arrangement where the water is kept in circulation to maintain the quality of water. But it has got special applications, not for general residential or commercial projects. Also something new, even it was new for me, and I was educated on this by the chairman of IPA Ahmedabad Chapter, about the use of jockey pump on hydrodynamic systems. And it really makes sense and really is logical to have a small jockey pump, which will start when there is a small demand of water from the hydrodynamic system, which is slightly more than the air vessel, but still it is not much. The large pump did not start, and jockey pump will take care. This is a small jockey pump over here. And when the demand increases, the regular pump plus the standby pump, they will start. And because of the installation of jockey pump in hydrodynamic system, 10 to 20% water consumption is saved. Power consumption is saved, sorry. Okay, the backwater valve. Though the name is backwater valve, it is actually the back drainage valve. And this is installed between the building sewer line and connection to the public sewer line. This is to avoid any backflow from the, you see this cross section here at the bottom. So there is a sewer connection, public sewer connection. If there is a blockage in public sewer, that blockage will enter into your building sewer line or your building sometimes. To avoid that, this backwater valve is installed. Sometimes it may have one flap or two flaps over here to avoid the blockages, to avoid the backflow. So whenever there is a backflow, the flap goes down and the backflow is prevented. When the flow is in the right direction, the flap opens automatically. Very useful. It was not seen earlier. Maybe 10 years back, it was not there in India, but now it is available by many manufacturers. Siphonic roof drainage systems. What is siphonic? It creates a negative suction in the drainage line, and the roof drain takes the storm water very effectively, very efficiently. Instead of having, let's say, 10 100 dia downtake pipes for the rainwater system, you might need only one 40 dia pipeline if you are using siphonic roof drainage system. It really saves space. It saves the aesthetics of the building. Does it save cost? It really depends on the design parameters. It really depends on the hanger, the type of hanger, because we have stainless steel hangers here. and the cost of the siphonic inlet. So when there is an initial rain, not very heavy, the water is flowing by gravity. It is mix of water and air. The cross section of the pipe is water and air. When the rain is heavy, when there is about 50 millimeters standing water over here, siphonic action takes place. The water is flowing now at full bore, and it is flowing at about 5 meters per second speed. So you don't use a gravity type of drainage pipes over here, but you have to use pressure type of pipes. Again, something new, a vacuum sewer system. If you have a hard rock in the sewer line, the excavation can be very expensive. Or if there are crossings somewhere here, or if the length is too much, you have to provide 1 in 100 slope, then you might need a pumping station or lift stations. Lift the sewage, drop it again by gravity, again lift it. This can be very expensive. Also, if you have a waterlogged area where excavation or laying pipe is impossible, you can always go for a vacuum sewer system where the sawtooth profile is there, which goes almost parallel to the ground. The pipe diameter is also reduced because now the media of the flow is vacuum or the air. The sewage is taken away by vacuum, not through the water. The pipe diameter is therefore reduced. But of course, you need a very high level of workmanship to ensure that it is airtight. But there are special applications, as I said, and there are some projects already executed in India using vacuum sewer system. So there were some new products and techniques, and I thought I will share it with you because we should all be open to modern techniques to ensure we have good plumbing that protects our health. Finally, follow the work safety. See in this picture, there is some scaffolding which is not proper. He's sitting at the edge of the plank over here. He's likely to overturn completely. Not wearing shoes, not wearing hats, not wearing gloves. See the bamboo scaffolding over here, and he's doing jointing of the cast iron pipes. Again, with no helmet, no safety belt, nothing. Please make sure that you also are properly protected like the concreting gang. Untrained people do unsafe works. That's very true. This is a very general advice. Appoint a plumbing consultant at the early stage of the project. Late appointment of a consultant causes a lot of changes, a lot of delays, and a lot of mistakes in the project. Engage only certified or licensed plumber and contractors. In some cities in India, the licensing is followed. In Pune, Mumbai, and some other good cities, say Mumbai, Calcutta, I know, where licensing is there and you can get licensed plumbers or licensed contractors. Use only listed and labeled materials. Listed, that is approved by IS code. Labeled, that is properly labeled. Who is the manufacturer? What is the date of manufacture? What batch, etc., etc. What pressure the thing can take? What temperature it can handle. All this labeling is done. Use only those products which are approved and labeled. And of course, conserve water and energy. And finally, follow the codes. The codes are now available in India. In addition to National Building Code, we have a very elaborate codes which are called Uniform Illustrated Plumbing Code of India. Please follow that. It will ensure good plumbing and protect your health. Visit nearby plumbing lab. Now there are a couple of plumbing labs available in India, and please visit it. It's a very nice educative tour. You learn many things in very short time. Have formal education and training in plumbing. A lot of plumbing training institutes are there for plumbers and engineers both. And now we have an upcoming Indian Plumbing Professional League, which is for developers, builders, contractors, etc. Please participate in that. You get good knowledge and exposure while sitting at home through webinars. This is an excellent opportunity to gain up-to-date knowledge on plumbing. So please participate in Indian Plumbing Professional League. That's all. Thank you very much. I hope you really enjoyed it and learned something more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Subash, for your knowledge sharing. I hope everyone is very much happy by your presentation. And now I must invite Dipen Bhai and Vinod Bhai for a quick round of question and answer session. So over to Dipen Bhai and Vinod Bhai.
Thank you, Shirul, and thank you, Subash, for a wonderful session. It was very knowledgeable and interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, so we have, I will take questions from the Q&A box. Mr. Saravanan is asking, what is the installation procedure for analog water flow meter? So what is the installation procedure for analog water meter, sir?
Frankly, I have no idea. I don't know about how to install it.
Okay. And the second question is that for city like Noida with hard water supply, what water filtration should you suggest, which is effective and feasible for residents? I think they are trying to ask you what kind of water filtration system is suitable for the Noida water, and which is economical as well as effective, sir.
Vinodji, it's very wrong question because the filter has nothing to do with hardness.
Absolutely.
So we can duck that. Anyway, the next question is, what is the correct location to fix the water hammer arrestor?
Yeah, as I said, it should be very, very close to the source of water hammer. That is near the stop wall or whatever, or end of the pipeline at the fixture. Water hammer arrestor should be installed. I have personally installed it at the fag end of the pipeline, where the water hits at the end of the pipe. That is where the water hammer generally takes place.
Vinod, what was the first question?
So the first question was that what is the installation procedure of analog water flow meter?
Yeah, so the water flow meter, that's the water meter, normal water meter, whether it's an analog or a digital, the procedure is the same. I mean, it has to be installed, there has to be a valve before the meter, and then the meter has to be installed.
Absolutely.
And depending upon the type of pipe used, the jointing has to be done accordingly.
Yeah, and wire strainer also required to be provided before water meter to prevent dust particle entry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I thought he's referring to a procedure. So maybe he has something else in mind, not the ordinary water meter.
Yeah, I mean, analog water meter is a normal water. It's a water meter. I mean, it's an analog or a digital.
Yeah, true. We call it water meter.
Yeah. We have another question, that what type of pipes are recommended for hot water applications, and what may be the maximum water temperature in the solar water system?
Okay. Actually, any pipe can be used for hot water system, provided it is insulated. And as I said, GI pipe is not recommended because it results into corrosion. The maximum water temperature in a solar system, depending on the type of solar panel, but it goes up to 90 degrees.
Then we have another question, that is negative suction advisable?
Well, advisable, not advisable. I told you what is advisable is positive suction. Negative suction should be avoided as far as possible. If at all it is there, you will need priming, and you will need a footwall which is non-leaking type, very effective football.
Okay. Then another question is, what is the best alternative for CI pipes for transfer levels in basement? I think he's asking that alternative of CI pipe for transferring the sewage line in the basement. Okay.
What is the alternative for CI pipe?
Yeah, CI pipe.
Yeah, actually, whatever pipe is coming from the top, the same should be continued at the basement for transferring it to outside. There is no need to change to cast sand pipe. The only thing is, because the flow is from vertical to horizontal, the velocity is going to change. The pipe diameter will also change. If the vertical pipe is 100 dia, the horizontal pipe may be 150 dia because of the reduction in the velocity of the flow. But you need not change the pipe material. And then if it is likely to get damaged because of the moving vehicles, you have to protect it with pipe guards.
Okay. Sir, we have a very good question. Where we can learn plumbing design practical way?
Contact your chapter chairman. Seriously, you can contact the chapter chairman. There are many opportunities to learn, and of course, as I said, IPPL is coming. That is the beginning.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, we are organizing IPPL every year, and there you learn plumbing, most of the topics of the plumbing in a practical way.
See, this year IPPL is going to be organized in a soft format, digital format, and anyone from any part of the country, or I would say any part of the world, can participate. We are going to start the marketing of IPPL, and the online registration for the IPPL will start very soon, and it will be updated to everyone.
Perfect. Then, sir, we have some another question in Q&A box. Mr. Santosh Kumar Pandya is asking, which code is preferable for Indian plumbing?
Which code?
Yeah, which codes is preferable for Indian plumbing?
Well, to be frank, even the National Building Code is not mandatory. It is only recommendatory. Similarly, Uniform Plumbing Code is also recommendatory. So you follow whichever is convenient to you, but make sure that whichever code is stringent, you take that.
Sir, I'll answer that. In our country, there is no mandatory norms enforced upon by the government in terms of any plumbing codes or any other codes to be followed in the industry. But still, we have a National Building Code as a guideline, and from IPA we have a number of publications like Uniform Illustrated Plumbing Code. We have WAPI, we have Withstand, we have Solar Code. We have different codes. All these codes can be referred for a better plumbing design and a better plumbing execution.
Perfect. The next question is from Mr. Jigar Shah. He's asking, in non-sunken drainage, how to fix nani trap, or it can be replaced by floor trap completely?
Okay, I'll rather put the word, instead of it can be, it should be. A nani trap should be replaced with a proper P trap or floor trap, because P trap has 50 millimeter water seal, which is approved type of trap. Nani trap does not have that required water seal. Also, the diameter of the nani trap varies depending on the inlet, outlet, and the trap position. It should have a uniform bore throughout. So, approved type of trap should have uniform bore. It should be self-cleansing type, and it should have 50 millimeter water seal. These properties are not there in nani trap, so it should be replaced. It's not that it can be replaced.
Perfect.
Any other questions?
Yeah, then we have some question from Mr. Muthu. He's asking whether should we use Schedule 40 or Schedule 80 fittings?
Okay. Actually, Schedule 40, if it is a small project, you can use Schedule 40. But we have been using Schedule 80 because our projects are generally larger projects. So that ensures better pressure taking.
Perfect. And the last.
Okay, we have Vinodji, 1 minute. There is one question about our IPA Good Plumbing Guide. From where we can get it? He is from Conserve Chapter, and they don't have copy.
Okay. You can write to our headquarters, and they will be able to provide you. But if you want a good plumbing practice book in the local language, you have to write to that local chapter, because it is now translated into 8 different languages.
Yes, Vinodji.
Yeah, there's another question from Mr. Kuntal. He says, he's asking, do pump manufacturer provide pump set with the jockey pumps, or the consultant will suggest? Can you suggest any make? So
No,
I think
the jockey pump will be suggested or designed by a consultant. The pump manufacturer, anyway, they are manufacturing. They are not saying you use this or that. So you have to select the pump, as I said, based on the head and the flow, etc., and the temperature of water, and whether you want to have variable frequency drive pump or constant speed pump, whether you want jockey pump, whether you want air vessel, all these things will come from a consultant. And I will not recommend any brand, because that is not ideal in a webinar like this.
There is another one question for Sailesh by Juliot. In single stack system suggested by you, do we need gully trap at the end?
Gully trap at the end means where? Obviously, single stack system will have a trap. You know, the trap has to be there, and then the final pipes is connected to the swept T, and then it is connected to the single stack system. So
no, he's talking about Subash sir. Can you reply this?
Yes. To answer that, you don't need a gully trap in single stack system. That is the trap at the bottom of the stack.
Okay.
That is not required.
So I think with this, Dipen, we are done with the questions. And few members are asking, do we have this YouTube link? So I'm sure we have recorded this session and we will circulate among all the members.
All the previous sessions are available on the IPA website, www.indianplumbing.org. Under the events and activities tab, you can visit the website and you can see all the previous YouTube links. Even this link will be uploaded in the coming week, from where you can access this video.
Perfect. So I think with this, we are done with the question and answer. Dipen bhai, anything else?
Thank you. Thank you, Subhashji. We thoroughly understand and enjoy series of your session. It's a pleasure all ours. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're most welcome. It's my passion to talk with people. It's my passion.
Yes. That's why I say the blood is plumbing only.
Yeah, true.
Plumbing is in the blood. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
Plumbacharya.
Yes. And now I invite our secretary, Mr. Ketan Parikh, for a vote of thanks. Over to Ketan bhai.
Namaste and good evening to all. On behalf of Indian Plumbing Association Ahmedabad Chapter, I, Ketan Parikh, thank you everyone for sparing your valuable time for one more webinar participation. We are very much thankful for your extensive support, which is inspiring us to put more efforts on plumbing awareness activities. Special thanks to our 4-session speaker, Mr. Subash Deshpande, for sharing expertise and experience throughout the 4 session. It was continuous engagement of 2 months with high quality of the debate, and I also acknowledge that all decided topics were covered. We thank you very much to all principal of 4 school for sparing their valuable time. Thanks and congratulations to all winner of drawing competition, which was held on the occasion of World Plumbing Day in March. We thank you very much to Juliot India and their team for their unconditional support by sponsoring series of all 4 webinars. So let me conclude by thanking you all for your valuable time and insights. With hope for continuing your valuable support. Namaste. Bye bye. Avdu. See you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Perfect.
રજા લઈએ સાહેબ.
Yes.
अभी करवानो છે કશું?
This Saturday evening है, so he is expecting something.
चलो.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Thank you, Subash.
Thank you very much, Subash ji. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Dinesh
Bye
bhai,
bye.
thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye bye.
Dinesh bhai, good night.
Yeah.
Be